let's look at parallel arrays. So we know what an array is. So here is an array. Let's call this ARR names. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we've got these cells. And I've got names. Let's put in some random X, Y, Z, A, B. So those are the names of the people that I have. And then I've got marks, ARR marks. And that is another array. And with the marks, let's say I've got 50, 80, 70, 40, and 90. And if I had to ask you the question, what is the mark for student A? My question to you is, what is the mark for student A? And I'm fairly certain all of you, every one of you will tell me that student A's mark is 40. That's what you're going to tell me. Student A mark is 40. If I tell you what's the mark for student Y, you will tell me immediately 80. And if I tell you what's the mark for student B, you will tell me the mark for B is 90. And the reason you are telling me this is because there's a mapping between the first array and the second array. And when I talk about a mapping, I mean there's a link between the positions of the two arrays. And that link between the two arrays is what we call a parallel array. A parallel array is when you got more than one array and there's a link between the two arrays, and the link takes place on the positions. The link is on the positions, exactly the way I've just explained it to you now. So that is what a parallel array is. Then we can ask so many different types of questions. Obviously, one of the first questions that you will be asked is to input. You'd need to input the names and the marks. The second question would be to output, but here the output will be in tabular form. In tabular form. So what do I mean by that? I mean, when you're displaying it, you're going to say X 50, Y 80, Z 70, A 40. So you're getting it in like a table form. B 90. So when you're outputting, you'll be required to output in tabular form. Then we can say input a name and output the student's mark. So this becomes more interesting now. So the user enters a name. You have to search for that name and then go and print the person's mark. So you are searching in one array, you're going to the other array to get the mark. So similarly, you can find the name of the student with the highest mark. So here you're going to search through the array marks, find the highest mark, and then get the corresponding name for that student. So these are the routines that you would need to work with when you're working with parallel arrays.